Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nanny. Tonight, we are going to talk about summer camp. Now, as you know, summer camp across the whole United States, some of them are opening, but they're going to be very cautious. So your child may be playing by themselves. And some of them are just not going to open at all because they want to err on the side of caution. But guess what? We have a solution to your problem. Mommies, daddies, nannies, listen up. We have Heidi and Sarah who have come up with a do it yourself nanny adventure camp. They have taken all the guesswork out of it. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is go and get the supplies. Hello? I need this camp. I need this camp in my life. And it's for multiple ages. So you can do it with an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old all at the same time. Hello? How ingenious was that? Now, I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you and give us a fun fact, and then we'll get started.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I live in Syracuse, New York. And a fun fact. Oh, geez. Really put me on the spot.
That's why you went first.
Okay. A fun fact is I love rock climbing. I really do. I love rock climbing, and I can't wait to get back to the climbing gym.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't do rock climbing, but I love when my grandchildren, I take them and they race to the top. I do, take that back. I do love rock climbing. I climb Stone Mountain, which is actually a big rock. So I love rock climbing too. There you go.
Yeah, but I love the rock climbing where if you fall and you're not in a harness, you're going to break something or die.
Oh, you like that? Oh, no, we're in a totally different league there. Nope, not me. Okay.
Oh yeah. I've got to have the harness, the rope, and
you can have that, Sarah. Good luck to you. I'll pray for you.
Oh, thank
you. Okay, Heidi, your turn.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I will go the opposite way. I know people know this, but fun fact is I love to scuba dive. So while Sarah is climbing the rocks, I will be under the water.
So one going up and the other one going down.
Exactly. So I'm sure there's lots more fun facts out there, but that's the one I'm giving.
Okay, so now introduce us to the DIY Nanny Adventure Camp. How did this come about?
Well, Laura Brawley from Nanny Care Hub approached the both of us and said, "Hey, I want to have a meeting with you. Are you free on this day? I have a great idea I want to talk to you about." So we got into the Zoom meeting and she started talking and she's like, "It's going to be a lot of work. Do you guys want to do it? Are you up for it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'll have time."
Okay.
Yeah. That was basically it. Yeah, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into when we stepped into the Zoom meeting.
Well, knowing Laura like I do, she will take an idea and have it already thought out. Oh, I know who's going to help me. And she'll call you up and it's like, okay, here's the deal. So I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. When she called me, she said, "I want to introduce this new concept." And I was like, okay. I said, "Okay, hold on. We got to work around somebody's schedule." I said, "Okay." She said, "Okay, so which date?" I said, "I'm thinking, we're going to do this in June. You know, this is for next month." She said, No. How about the 21st? I was like, okay. She's very persuasive, but I love her ideas.
Mhm.
It's always something big that she comes up with and it just explodes. And so I was like, hello, I want to be on the front end of this explosion so I can just carry it on out. So
Mhm.
tell us about um, exactly what the DIY Nanny Adventure Camp is. What is it going to do for us? How is it going to simplify our lives?
Well, I know that we see it all the time, and those who aren't in the nanny boards for whoever else is watching, but we see it that they're, especially now that kids are out of school or that they've been doing e-learning at home, there's a lot of what can I do because so many things are closed, whether it's the park or a playground, actually, the zoo or certain things. And now that summer camps are either closed or they're maybe not going to be attending, what can I do during the summer? And so what we have done is created these activities that are multi-age group, because a lot of times in a household, you don't have just one child. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. A lot of times you might have siblings or a nanny share, and a lot of the things that you can get off of line are geared towards one age group. And so we kind of have, if it can, not everything obviously can go towards every age group. We've kind of broken it out following certain themes. So what we've done is each month has a broad overview theme, and then each week follows that theme. And so Sarah has all the themes for coming up for June, as well as our overall theme, which we're really excited about, and we're working really hard on for the month of June.
Mm-hmm. So for the month of June, our main theme is the great outdoors. So for the next few weeks, the sub-themes every week are going to follow that main theme. The first week that we are doing is in the garden. And in this theme, we are going to talk about starting a garden. We're going to talk about gardening with kids. For anyone who has never started a garden before, we give you a list of things that are really easy to grow. We give you a list of different plants that do well if you have a lot of shade, or if you have, pretty much half and half shade and sun, or if you have full sun. So we have lists of all kinds of different flowering plants that do well in those different environments. I talk about some of the vegetables that are really easy to grow, but might need special care. Sorry, okay. So, for example, I said mint and strawberries are great to grow. They're really easy, but don't plant them in the ground because they go everywhere and they choke out other plants, especially mint. But you can plant them in a pot. Strawberries will need a large pot. Mint will do really well in a small one. So we try to give some direction about starting a garden. We have activities for literacy. We have activities for math and science. We have a vocabulary list, because if you're anything like me, you'll say, oh yeah, plants, they grow through photosynthesis. And then a kid will say, what's photosynthesis? And I'm like, oh, I have to look it up. So we give the vocabulary list with very easy definitions to share. We have a full list of books to go with it. And we also give the links to story times online that cover those books, because we know libraries are closed. And, half of them, I don't have half the books. So I don't know if you've ever gone through YouTube to try to find online story times. Some of them are hard to listen to. And you're like, why is this person even reading this on YouTube?
I have a story time.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. So the other themes for the month of June, we have the ocean and beach. We have camping, which I know Heidi and I are both really excited about. And we also have weather.
And we should also, that we know that sometimes it's not about age. We say age, and even on the newsletter it says like under school, you know, certain, we don't technically give an age. We'll say maybe preschool or under preschool, but we also want to clarify that every child is different developmentally, physically, in all aspects. So while your 2-year-old may be able to do something, other people's 2-year-olds may not. So we're not going to give a definite age, because someone's 2-year-old may be able to cut with scissors while another person's not. So that's where you're going to have to judge what can be done and what can't. So we're putting a very broad age, but we're also giving, if you don't have space, an outdoor space. A lot of people are stuck inside in some places. They don't have a backyard or a front yard. Maybe they just have a porch or a patio. So if you're gardening, we talk about using the pots and the plants, but there's also other activities. I believe in total we have close to 15 activities, plus cooking, plus yoga, plus books, plus podcasts. So these are all things that could be done just in the first week. And then we also supply a link where you can purchase the items, usually from offline, if you don't feel comfortable going to a store to buy the supplies. And you don't have to buy all the supplies. We created also a master list that went out this morning to the people that have already bought into the DIY Nanny Adventure Camp. And that's something that we feel should be in every nanny or parent's art closet, let's just say, or art bin. But you don't have to have everything. These are things that make it easier, I know, for both Sarah and I to have these certain items just on hand, because if something goes wrong, if it rains and you're stuck inside, and you have these craft supplies on hand. So we don't want people to feel like they have to rush out and buy every single thing on our master list. But we also break it out into this week's list. These are the supplies that you're going to need if you're working on all of the activities, which makes it easier, because we obviously don't want people to go and buy every little thing if they can't. You know, it's up to them, and if they don't have the space for it. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for all aspects of where you're located, what kind of charges you have, and then what you have on hand. And things can be used in a different way. Obviously, if you don't have a pot to put your plant in, use the milk jug. I mean, those type of things. Like it's also just being creative with what you have, because, you know, we're in a different time right now.
Exactly.
We've also formatted the newsletter where each activity is labeled with what subject it's working with. Right. So if you have a kid who loves art and loves literacy, you can look through the list and say, okay, here's art, they would love that. Or here's a literacy thing, they would love that. So that you don't have to scroll through everything and say, oh, you know, well, maybe. So we formatted it in a way that we think will be easy for people to go through and pick out what they like.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Y'all are making me miss the library, because I still do, and hopefully later this summer I'll be able to. I have a Nana summer camp with my grandchildren. They're here for a whole week. And when I tell you, it starts out, it's 9 o'clock bedtime. By Wednesday, it gets down to 8. By Thursday, they're like, Nana, can we go to bed now? I'm like, yeah, we can go to bed. But I have been, wherever I am, I'm like, okay, so we're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, because I'm used to making lesson plans. But if you all already got it made out for me, I'm going to be like, okay, here you go. Send me my lesson plans and get my supplies ahead of time. So whenever they get here, this is what we're going to do. So I am excited for them to come as we slowly get off of our quarantine. I am excited for them to come, but I'm also excited because this is something that I used to do. I used to take them to the library, and they had backpacks at the library with things. Yeah. And I remember one of them was the garden, and it had a book, and it had a CD, and it has finger plays that you can do about the gardening. And then You go to the desk and they give you a pack of seeds to go with it so that you can plant. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. And so we would go in and we would get themes, which thing we wanted that week. And that's what we would do. But now, yes, because I am so curious because I am a teacher by nature and a nurturer by nature. And I want to find out, I'm just curious about the lesson plans. That's my most curiosity because I have made my lesson plans before. I'm like, okay, I want to see what they came up with. So I can implement it with my grandchildren and I don't even have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just for nannies. It's for parents. It's for grandparents because I know I am not the only grandparent that kids come to your house during the summertime. Nana, can we do this? Nana, can we do this? Nana, what we gonna do next? Nana, if I got lesson plans and all of them can read, I post it right there on the okay, so this is what we're doing this week. What you want to do first?
Right. And that's why we offer, like, there's multiple, like I said, there's not just 5 activities listed, on there. You could literally probably do 2 to 3 activities a day in that 5-day span for just the first week. That way the kids can choose and you can also choose, and then you can gear it for you. If you're in a location where it's now raining for 3 days, how can we adjust working in the garden? Because obviously that's not going to work. Well, you can do it inside. And so we're trying to adjust to hopefully to every need that is available out there. And sometimes it is really hard to make a true on lesson plan. And I know, Angela, we were talking about this before, where we had to write out, in a preschool setting lesson plan. And that's not very detailed. It's literally read this book, do this art project, do this. And we went into more detail in that fact to just help whoever is reading it understand that you could do it this way or this way. And then if neither of those work, maybe come up with doing something in between. And it's also the summer. And so we wanted to make it fun and not something that is, the kids are going to be like, oh, we're just learning again. Because I feel like the poor kids, they've been sitting on, learning e-learning this whole time.
Yes.
We tried to literally stay away from the screens. Like Sarah did mention, we did put in the book links with the YouTube links. And I believe that there's a Kindle version that's free. It's an older child's book, it's preteen. But what I used to do is I used to play the YouTube through the Bluetooth that ran in the house. So we didn't watch it, but we listened to it. And the podcast the same way. So if you don't want your child to sit on another screen device again, then listen to it. Just like you would listen to music and other things like that. I mean, obviously, if you want them to see the pictures, but sometimes it's just nice to sit back and listen to it and think what is going on in the story. And that's also something you guys that you could talk about with your charges or your grandchildren, whatever. Oh, we just listened to that story. I wonder what the character actually looked like. Or, they said he went to this village. What do you think the village looked like? And then maybe you could go back and watch the story that was the actual book turning pages and see if what they heard is actually what's on the page. That's a whole nother activity that actually, Sarah, that's a great idea to put in the next one.
Or have them draw the village from their imagination.
There you go. That's one. That's one we didn't. Yeah, that's a good one. Next time. But that's how. I mean, when we were talking with Laura, Sarah and I were talking with Laura. Sarah and I, we're talking with Laura. That's how it went. Is we just started going off on topics, and she's like, "I need to record this because you guys are just literally coming up with things," and that's. We just actually have to, try and put them on paper and get them out.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Some of our conversations that have been written, I'm just like, oh, I need to screenshot that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that today, actually.
Yeah. But that's what the teacher in you does. You're like, oh, let me write that down. I'm always saying, let me write that down because it's a great idea. And if I don't write it down, I'm like, what was I thinking? I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I messaged Sarah at 3 a.m. the other day, which 3 a.m. my time, which was 6 a.m. her time, because I thought of an idea and I knew if I went back to sleep, I would have forgotten it. So I'm messaging her at 3 a.m., making sure that I don't forget something.
okay,
Yep.
so now, how can we get these lesson plans and this? I know you mentioned it in email, but how do we go about getting it? I know there is a website and it's scrolling. Just so you all know, it is scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And it's linked on the side as well in the comments.
Okay, and there's a link in the comments.
Mhm.
So, how do we go about getting these, and how far in advance do we need to get this newsletter to be ready for our kids?
So the newsletter comes once a week. The first one actually, it's the intro, came today, and basically what was on there was an intro to Sarah, Laura, and I, as well as like what we called extra extras, which was just some recipes that you can keep on hand, and then also the master supply list, and then supply list for week 1. Those will normally come, so it normally will come out on a Thursday. It'll be emailed to you once you sign up at DIY Nanny Adventure Camp. Once you sign up, you can pick either per month or you can get all 3 months. So per month is $30 a month. And then if you purchase all 3 months, it'll be $75. And those will be sent to your email the Thursday before the week. So our newsletter for Great Outdoors in the Garden will come out Thursday the 28th. That way you have time to get some items that you need and be able to look over the newsletter. If you want to print it out, it'll come as a PDF. You can print it out, put it on the board, talk to your kids about it. And then Monday the 1st will be when that would start for the in the garden. And so anyone who purchases it will get it the Thursday before, so it'll come out weekly.
Okay, so it comes out weekly. It's emailed to you weekly, the Thursday before the event actually happens.
Yes,
and you have time to go to the store and get supplies, because I don't think Walmart ever closed down. Neither did Target. So they are, and I know that they are. They have a lot of stock, Becky. The stock in the stores has gotten better. The shelves are not empty completely anymore.
Right.
So, and there is toilet paper. I just had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
If you don't want to spend money, we do supply links, but of course, obviously, you have to wait for the delay. I know Amazon is getting a lot better on shipping. We just give common links, but wherever you feel comfortable. Sometimes you might be able to find certain things at like a Dollar General or 99-cent store. If you know your store is better than, we're all over the country, so we may have different stores available. Obviously, we have the big ones, Walmart, Target, Michael's, things like that. But the list, we just give a common link that you can purchase from. But if you feel like you know of a better deal at one of your local stores, then support them. Support your local store, especially the small mom and pop stores. If they have something that is on the list, then by all means, and you feel comfortable entering their, going out and entering their store, then by all means purchase it there. We're not saying that you have to use our link, and we're not making any money off the links at all. We just pick things from wherever and put them on there on how we would purchase things. So
so you just put them on there to make it easier for them to find the supplies.
Exactly.
You can find the supplies anywhere, especially my favorite store, Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm not getting anything from Hobby Lobby, but I love Hobby Lobby. Anyway.
Well,
The
other thing with the links too is that it'll provide a picture. So if you're not sure and you're like, what exactly are they talking about? Well, here's a picture so that when you do go to the store, you can say, okay, I've got the right thing.
Right, because one of them is like a shower squeegee. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know what a shower squeegee, but maybe some people don't know what a shower squeegee is. So if you click on the link, you're able to see what a shower squeegee is. Or textured paper. How is textured paper different than regular paper? So it's those type of things that, you can click on the link to be able to find it. But like I said, we're not, we didn't do it as one way, like just do it this way. We want people to feel comfortable in what they want to do, but we also know that not everyone is going to feel comfortable going into a store right now. So if you feel like you can have it shipped, then by all means, have it shipped and use use the shipping service that you're comfortable with as well.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm a visual learner,
Mm-hmm.
so I appreciate the links because I do a lot of cooking. And when I do my shows, I'm like, okay, this is what it looks like. So when you go to the store, I don't have a Safeway here. I have HEB.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a Kroger here. I have a Randall's. I don't have a Safeway here. I have, what's the name of that store? I can't even think of the name. Anyway, whatever store that you have in your neighborhood, in your area, look at the links. So you was like, oh, that's what that is. Because as with, people call it pop, some people call it soda. So it may be called something different in your area than what they have put on that piece of paper. So just look it up and see what it is. And you're like, oh, we call that, whatever. Because, I've lived all over in like 13 different states, and every region has a way of calling things. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then they show me, I'm like, oh, that's what I know what that is. So look at the link because you may call it something different, especially if you're from a different country.
Mm-hmm.
You may call it something different in your country than what we call it here.
Exactly.
So,
and this could be done all over. I mean, we know we have an international community out there, and so we're not saying that this is just for the United States. This can be for wherever you're located, and that's why the links that you, like Sarah said, you can see the picture and find something at your local store. Obviously, we did all our local. We did Walmart and Amazon and Michael's and things like that, things that were accessible to both of us being on opposite ends of the country. But, and I do want to say that there will, like I said, we're getting it Thursdays beforehand. We're sending that out because there is going to have to be preparation in this. And I think that sometimes we talked about this last week, is that you do have to prepare for getting this stuff done. You can't just walk in on Monday just because you have this list of things to do for this week. Doesn't mean that they're going to magically appear. You're going to have to, if you have younger kids, there might be things that you have to cut beforehand. There might be things that you have to prepare or get beforehand. So that way, when you walk in Monday morning, you have those. Obviously, don't prepare all, whatever 12, 15 activities. Pick out the ones that you're going to do on Monday and prepare those, and then maybe prepare Tuesdays, and then maybe prepare Wednesdays. We don't want people to get overwhelmed and burnt out, and that's a whole big thing. But you do have to prepare ahead of time, and I think that's a lot of times with lesson plans, and all three of us, Angela as well, who have come from that type of background. You have to prepare those lesson plans for a setting ahead of time. You can't just walk in on Monday morning and have 24-year-olds looking at you like, what are you going to do, and decide to do it then. So you're going to have to prepare just a little bit in order. But with parents at home, this is a good thing. You're like, hey, we're doing this. Well, why are you doing that? Because we're going to have our DIY nanny adventure camp, and this is what I'm doing, and we also say engage the parents. We have cooking activities. Have the parents help you cook with you.
Exactly.
The parents are home. If you're doing a scavenger hunt, if one of the activities is scavenger hunt, include the parents. If they're not working, obviously, if they're taking a break or whatever it is, include the parents. So that way everyone in the home can do this. It's not just for the nannies and the charges. It can be for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. Find out when the parents schedule a break, or and say, okay, we're doing this today, and I'd like for you to join us as a part of this whatever activity. It makes the kids feel special because, oh, mommy's coming and she's going to join us. And explain to the kids, make sure you say I'm preparing for the next week. You need to prepare not only the materials, but prepare the parents and prepare the kids for what's going to happen next week or what's going to happen tomorrow or what's because and sometimes, you know, it used to wreck me. It just if I told my kids, okay, so tomorrow we're going to do this, they would bug me all night. Oh, so sometimes you may preparing them saying that, okay, we're going to do summer camp. Summer camp is going all summer long. And we're going to do so many fun activities. But if you're telling them specific, sometimes if you're telling them specific things and they're all excited about it, they won't be able to sleep. They will be frustrated and aggravated. When are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? Are we doing this next? Are we doing it next? So you know your child and you know exactly how much to tell and how much not to tell. So be sure you take that into consideration when you are talking to the kids and talking to the parents about it. But please get the parents involved, grandma, grandpa involved, the neighbors involved. If it's a scavenger hunt, you know, hide something, you know, in the front yards. They can go by. We're going to come by your front yard. Is that okay? Right. We weren't coming in your house, but we're coming by your front yard because we want to do, you know, a scavenger hunt. It's just like the bears that they had in the neighborhoods. Everybody put a bear in the window or a rainbow in the window, and you go out and you find these things. Well, it's outside time. It's exciting for kids to spot things and to find things and the adventure of it all and the questions, the open-ended questions that you can get from the kids and, you know, taking pictures and taking videos because this is a time to remember because, you know, I've taken pictures of kids that I take care of and the relatives live in another country. When they come to visit, oh, you're the one that sent all the pictures. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, we got the picture of him doing this and we him doing that. Oh, that was so fun. I'm like, huh? Moms and dads take those pictures that you send to them and they send them to, it's like a family share photo box and everybody comes and shares the photos and that's how everyone keeps up with one another. And so when I met the grandparents, I was just like, okay, y'all know all about me. I have no clue. Right. But it is fun. So when you're doing these activities, make sure you take pictures of them for memories because this is the summer that Nanny did the summer camp. And nannies, just as a clue or as a business tip, take pictures of you doing it with them so you can add them to your portfolio.
Yes. If you can. I mean, this is definitely the time, you know, you're going to have a lot of nannies that can add this type of thing to their resume. Like we did summer camp and you can throw that into your resume for sure. And, you know, we have to get a little comfortable with the parents working from home a lot more. And so why not include them as much as possible? So that way the children know that you guys are all working together. You know, if you do a project together, then, you know, that shows that teamwork that's involved because it's not just, you know, we're not showing, you know, to have the children do the teamwork. All of the people in the home are doing the teamwork. So, you know, including everyone. And that, you know, parents talk to each other. We know it. So if, you know, hey, did you know my nanny got me this, you know, DIY nanny adventure camp and they do it every week. Oh, really? You know, how's that? And, oh, well, no, she gets the, you know, I signed up for it and parents talk. So, you know, let it be.
And get your parents to pay for it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
one of the other things,
I'm sorry.
So one of the other things, speaking of parents, that we did in this newsletter is for the activities, we talked about exactly what the kids are getting out of the activity. So I'm a mom myself. My daughter's 10. So I'm in some local mom groups. And one of the things that I see over and over and over from the parents is is my child going to be falling behind? How can I keep my kid learning? So when we have the activities listed, we talk about exactly what the kids are learning from this and what they're gaining from it. So that's another great thing that you can share with the parents when they say, well, why are you doing that activity? Well, because this is how it benefits your kid. This is what they're learning from it. And most of the time, the kids don't even realize they're learning anything. They're just busy having fun. But the parents end up feeling a lot better because they're like, oh, my kid is not going to fall behind in any way at all.
Right. Because most activities at preschool, I heard a parent say, all they're doing is playing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that lit a fire under me. I was like, I go through all of this stuff and all they're doing is playing. Are you serious? So, me being me, I took pictures of the kids in all the areas, the centers in there, and I took those pictures and I was like, okay, so when I build with the blocks, my fine motor skills are working. When I build with the blocks and I am measuring, I am doing geometry, I am doing angles, I am socializing, I am making friends, I am using my imagination, I am using critical thinking. I was like, this isn't just play, this child is working hard.
Exactly.
So when they say it's just play, and I created 2 posters and I set it right outside of our room. So when parents came by, they would look and like, oh, okay, that's my baby right there. Oh, look at him. And you see what your baby is learning. You see what your baby is doing. You see what is going on inside of just play.
Right.
Exactly. And that's what one of the things that we wanted to get across, that yes, the kids are playing. Yes, they are having so much fun, but they're also getting a lot out of it.
Right. And that's something they can remember. I mean, planting a garden. The garden may not survive. I mean, if it's my garden, probably not. But, I do try. But, it's the memories that you're making. And like, we started a garden, and this is why we started with garden in the beginning, is because then you can continue that all summer. Just because garden week is over doesn't mean you stop the garden. It's something also that a child can take care of. And those are things that we talk about also, is like, you can create a chart, and who's going to water the plants today. If you have multiple age children, an older child, what's going to sprout first? What's going to need more sun, and who's going to take care of it? Who's going to weed the garden? It's also taking care of other things besides just themselves. Especially for people who don't have pets or other siblings. This is great. You can still do that in potted plants. I have potted plants. I can't have a garden outside. I have potted plants, so I water my potted plants. And that's something a child can do. That's something a little child, if you have a 1-year-old, will they get it all in there? Who knows? Will they get wet? Probably. Are they going to get dirty? Sure. But that's the point. The point is having fun, but then also realizing that something else is growing and you have to take care of it in order for it to grow.
And I love the cute little watering cans. And that you see the sprinkles, and they just kind of go like this and putting it to their mouth. Right. Then they are, but it teaches them spatial relations. They have to learn hand-eye coordination. Am I close enough to the pot where the water is going to pour in?
Exactly.
Or am I too far over where the water is going over on the other side?
Right.
This is something that is critical in learning. I need to know exactly where I need to be and put this can, and the more they practice, the better they get at it. And it leads from just watering the plants to other things like creating puzzles. Is it going to fit right? Is it in the right spot? The angles, all of these things children are learning, and you just don't see it. Just because it's not saying, your child saying, hey, Mom, I'm critical thinking right now. Hey, Mom, I'm learning spatial relations right now. Hey, Mom, I'm learning how to manipulate things. Hey, mom, my fine motor skills are being worked right now.
Right.
They're not going to be able to say that to you. But knowing that this is happening, hello.
Yep, exactly. And, so many of these little skills that you were just talking about, like your fine motor skills. Well, you need great fine motor skills to learn how to write. You have to have good muscles in your fingers and your hands and your wrist and your shoulders. Like there are a ton of muscles that go into learning how to write. And well, before a kid can learn how to write, they have to be able to develop those muscles. Or with learning how to read, kids have to have good visual tracking skills. So when they're watering that garden and they're watching those sprinkles fall down into the dirt and they're tracking them with their eyes, well, they're training their eyes to get ready to learn how to read.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that I think that parents don't realize, and that's why including them. Now, you might not be able to say, look, they're tracking this, but they are still learning. Sometimes it's they're not, you might not be able to say, oh, they're manipulating with their fine motor skills, but everything, you'd be like, look, they're learning from this because they're watering the plant. And why don't we do it all together? And this will help lead to other skills later in life. And I think that's why including the parents, so then they can see what you're doing. They can see, and then they can continue that when you're not there. If you're leaving, for the night, they can, well, let's pick out some books on gardening because you did that today, with Nanny or grandma or aunt or whatever, or over the weekend. You know what? So-and-so's not here, but let's still take care of our garden.
Exactly.
Including the parents in. And that's why when we send it early, you can print it out, hang it up, put it in your, in your principal's home, somewhere where the children can see, and then everyone knows what you're doing.
And it teaches children empathy, caring for one another, caring for a living being, and it also, just like parents go to check on their kids, make sure they're not sick. Oh, do you see the leaf dying? It's turning brown. I wonder what's going on with our plant. Let's go find out. It's an adventure. It's an experiment. And I know that once the plant starts maturing, leaves are gonna die. Why is it dying? Well, let's explore and find that out. And we need to cut this off because the dead leaf will suck the life out of the rest of the plant. But don't say it like that to them. This is adults, so don't say it like that to them.
It depends on the honesty, yeah.
But it's, you can find a way to explain that to them, that this is the life cycle of the plant. And in the life cycle of the plant, as the leaves get bigger and they start to mature, they fall off, so other leaves, new leaves, can be born or to thrive or to whatever they do to grow.
Right.
So it's a life cycle. It's so many different lessons. And to a 2-year-old, it's just a dead leaf. To an 11-year-old, it's a science project.
Exactly.
So you have to learn how to manipulate those stories, what you're saying, to the age group.
Right.
And the age group that you're working with, they will understand better what's going on.
Right.
And it also creates bonding between parents and children. And that is so important. And I know right now you probably feel like I've done too much bonding in the last 2 or 3 months. But guess what? That's what you're there for. You're a parent, and you don't know. You are your child's first teacher. And bonding with them, and they will remember this. Yeah. To you, this is like it's rough because why? And what do we do with this? And the little negotiations. But I bet if we do this and we do that, well, I don't need to do this because trust me. They will remember these things. You think they're just doing this to get on your nerves, but they are actually learning from you. They are actually getting the attention that they wanted while they were at school and you were at work, they're actually getting all of that from you now that you are at home. And trust me, this is some of the best times to teach lessons, for them to learn, for you all to bond with one another and become closer as a family.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we're hoping with modifying. Like you said, it's different with a 2-year-old than with an 11-year-old. And we're giving you those key steps, but we don't know everyone's charges. We don't know how their thinking skills are. We don't know. So we're giving you guidelines on how to change an activity for certain ages. And then you can grow on there. Like hopefully it ignites a spark that, oh, you can do this with someone younger or someone older with this that I saw somewhere. Okay, well, how about if we just do it this way? Because my kid actually likes to do this. And you're still following the theme, but you're gearing it toward your kids. And that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that that nannies can see that just because it says, make a son somewhere, if an activity somewhere online says make a son, you can actually change that for whatever age group. So hopefully it opens and sparks some creativity somewhere for certain nannies or parents or caregivers or whoever it is involved.
Yep.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, I think that's one of the things that kind of sets our do-it-yourself nanny adventure camp apart from other camps that are either going on virtually or they send you the stuff. The ones that I have seen, they're only geared towards a certain age. So, it's like, okay, this sounds great for preschoolers, but what the heck am I going to do with an older school age kid where this is just going to be too young for them? So our do-it-yourself camp says, okay, you can do it with your preschooler and then modify the same activity so that it would be great for your older child as well.
So, can see a little kid would just take the yellow crayon and make a sun. Your older kids can use the paint. I've used those little swirly macaronis to make the heat waves that come from the sun, and the glue. And there is so much more. Let them be creative. Find things around the house that they can make the sun out of. Clip up different colors of yellow and orange paper and create a sun. Because it depends on how you look at the sun and what angle you look at the sun. Sometimes it's redder on this side and it's kind of orange on that side. Let them create.
Exactly. We want them to still be children. We still want them to learn, but we learn, my big thing is that you let the children lead and then you follow. I would say in my classes, it's basically the child is driving. Actually, the child's a GPS and you're driving, so the child is telling you where to go, which can be scary because sometimes where the child wants to go is not where you want to drive to. And we all know that we all yell at our GPS sometimes. Not that we yell at our children, but we like, why are you taking me there? There's a quicker route. But yeah, follow the child's lead. And that's the whole thing with this, is that we can give you the ideas and we can modify them. But then sometimes you might need to modify whatever for your situation as well. We're going to try and modify it as much as possible. But like I said, we're not in everyone's household. We're not in, everyone's state. And so it's, that's something that you'll have to figure out when you get it. And, we're here to help, obviously, but, hopefully we got it down so that way everyone gets a bit of something.
Good. Now, all we're waiting on is for you to hit the DIYNannyCamp.com. Right into your browser. You're already on the computer or you're already on your phone. Just type it in. Go ahead, sign up now, because June 1st will be here before you know it. And Monday is a holiday. So if you want to get those materials and get a head start on what's going on, you need do it now, because, I know Memorial Day, some stores have all these big sales and everything. That Memorial Day sale, you can save on those supplies. I'm just saying, when sale time, I normally when I know it's like the 4th of July or Easter or whatever, and everything's going to be on sale, I go for it.
Yep.
Especially if I'm doing a project the day after Easter, it's even more on sale. So I'm like, yeah, I grab this for next. I'm telling you, I plan. That's how I plan because I'm a teacher. I plan. I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna wait because they got some in the back. I know they do, and they're gonna put it all out here in the bins. It's gonna be 50 cents.
Yep.
And now that's if you have room for it. But that's as me as a teacher. I have bins all over the house. Okay, so this is my Easter bin. This is my this. I have them all in different storage bins and labeled. So whatever theme I'm going with, it's in the bin. So if that's you, grab it. It's in the bin. Take advantage of the sales, the first of the summer sale, whatever sale is going on. I know Hobby Lobby, just about every day you can find an item for 40% off. And that's with just using the internet coupon. You can get 40 cents off. 40%, not cent, 40% off. So take advantage of the sales, take advantage of the coupons. Michael's has the same thing. Sometimes I don't think it's every week, but they have the same thing. And you know, your local Amazon is probably going to be having a sale. It's Memorial Day. Everybody starts their sale early. It's probably on sale right now because Memorial Day is Monday. So just while you're sitting there and just, you know, we don't mind. We're at the end, so we don't mind you jumping off and go ahead and just sign on up and get it taken care of. If you're a nanny, talk to your nanny parents. I have them to reimburse you. Tell them this is what it's for. Let them watch the video and let them, you know, show them the video. Say, this is what I want to do for the summer with the kids.
And we do have a letter too. We have a letter for parents as well. So if nannies don't,
even better.
If nannies don't feel comfortable, because we know this, a lot of times nannies don't feel comfortable approaching that situation of like, here, this is something, but yes, it does cost money. I mean, we do have a letter that's aimed towards verbiage for parents. So if you know, if a nanny needs that, just, you know, reach out and we can have that sent. Or sent to you, they can send to them. You know,
get the letter and learn the verbiage. Talk to the parents. Get it done. And this week would be a great week. Now would be a great time to get the materials because they're all on sale, and we can get them on sale. Parents love saving money just as much as we do.
Laura just posted it. There you go. Laura just posted on the side in the comment section the letter that is geared towards parents. So if nannies or grandparents or aunts or uncles, send it off to the parents of the children. So that's on the side there as well.
Hold on. Let me see.
Laura, you're so good at this stuff.
nannycarehub.com employer invitation. Okay, see, I don't see it on mine.
It's over. It's on the live comments on the bottom.
Okay, maybe it hasn't posted on my here. But anyway, I see it on my phone. But it's in the comments. Get the invitation letter. Send it to them by email. You know they're on their phone. They keep. Most people keep their phones glued to them. Ding! And you probably have a special ringtone, and they probably think, "Oh man, she's not coming tomorrow." Oh no, I'm coming. I just want you to be prepared when I get there, so we can talk about this. So send it to them tonight, so they'll be prepared to talk to you about it tomorrow, and they'll probably be excited or email you back. So when do we get started? Where can we get this stuff? You know, where do we get it done? And for $75 for the whole summer,
for 3 months,
take care of their kids. They pay more than $75 a week for probably a day for the kids to go to summer camp.
Yep.
Yeah. And this will be different themes each week. So obviously we were talking a lot about the garden, but our overall theme for June is the great outdoors. And then we have 4 themes within the month that all focus on the great outdoors as well. So it's a great thing. And then also getting it early, you can prepare by keeping those recycled materials, because some of our things actually do require, I don't want you to be like, oh, I just threw out that paper towel tube, Obviously, you don't want to have a whole house full of paper towel tubes, but keep a couple handy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You always keep things handy.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want you to be like, an episode of Hoarders or something, but, keep a couple things handy.
I have, my husband was like, why are you saving the toilet paper tubes? I said, it's in a bin because I know I'm going to need it. It's an art project in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what art project? I don't know yet, but it's in the making.
You don't know.
Yep.
So,
actually, I just used toilet paper tubes for trunks of trees because I ran out of brown construction paper, and I was kind of like, oh, all of these that I saved and threw in the art closet, this is perfect. Mm-hmm. Now I have a use.
Yeah.
See? Everything is recyclable.
Yes. Which we like too. That's an option that's free. Well, free afterwards, obviously. But
even the diaper wipe, the bucket for the diaper wipes.
Oh, yeah. For the lid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just the lid. I've seen the DIY commercials where they put the little crayon on one side and then they put the little pad on another, and you take it in the car while you ride along. Keep the kids entertained. I've seen all of that. Because I am a teacher and art projects is my thing, and that's just what I do. And I saved this, and my husband's like, "You're hoarding." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not hoarding. I'm saving this for the right time." And then I bring it out. He said,
"This summer."
I remember that. Yes. Remember you said I was hoarding? This is what it was for.
And guess what? Now is the right time, Angela. Now without camps, now is the right time for all that stuff.
Yes.
So now, yeah.
You can recycle all of that stuff that you have in the buried in the back of the closet. Now is the time. Now is the time. All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight. And thank you for coming up with the summer camp, the DIY Nanny Adventure Camp. I'm telling you, you all just don't know. It is hard work to come up with lesson plans. And it's hard enough to just find an activity to do. But to make lesson plans around, this is what your child is going to learn. This is what he's going to, this is the purpose of this. This is what they're going to learn from it. This is what it's critical thinking. It's fine motor skills. It's all this. And it's all explained to you. And you can hang it on the fridge, and the parents will see what their children are learning. Their parents will see the value in getting this and say, oh, my child's not going to fall behind between being online learning and the beginning of school year. They're going to have something to do to keep their brains fresh, and they're going to be having fun while doing it all summer long. I promise you, if you go online to try to buy lesson plans, it's going to cost you more than $30 for 1 week. 1 week of lesson plans. It's going to cost you. And you get a whole month of fun activities for $30. And there's a sale. If you buy all three, you get $75. That's $15. Yeah, I can't beat that. I'm a hustler. I know. I was just speaking about this on a broadcast yesterday. This is saving money for your family. This is fun time for your children. This is bonding time for you and your children. This eliminates the boredom of, I'm bored. What are we gonna do? All of that. So I said, jump on now, get it done, lickety split, bada boom, bada bing, and done.
Exactly.
Thank you, Laura. Laura said I crack her up. I'm just saying it's easier to just buy the lesson plans, have it already planned out for you, and just go get the supplies and just follow directions. It's just easier to do that. Or if you like me, I see it, I read it, I see the pictures and everything, and I create my own thing. hey, it's still planned out for you. Whether you follow the directions on the paper or you just you do like me, see the pictures. Oh, I can do this. Okay, I got that. All right, and you go for it.
Yeah.
Same difference. Now, thank you all for joining us tonight. And thank you, ladies, for preparing these lesson plans and making our lives so much easier. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
now,
thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Now, on Monday, Ask the Nanny will be on vacation. Yeah, it's Memorial Day, and I will be on vacation. But join us or join me Tuesday night with the U.S. Nanny Association on the U.S. Nanny Association Facebook page. We're doing a nanny check-in. Yeah, we haven't checked in for a while. We want to check on you, see how you're doing as things start to open back up. What's going on in your community? You know, just share with us what's going on. Also, on when we come back on June the 1st, I'm going to have my special guest, Glenda Probst, and we're going to talk about what to do when. So you don't want to miss that one. And I have a portfolio class June the 6th and the 7th. The portfolio and the mini portfolio, those workshops are $20 each. If you take both of them together, there is a $10 discount. Just saying, who doesn't like to save money? And this portfolio, you get your portfolio together now. So all summer long, you can start adding things to that portfolio from what you're doing with the DIY summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm just saying.
Exactly.
So we will see you all next Tuesday on U.S. Nanny Association. And I'll be back probably cooking, doing some other stuff. You know me. I'm all over the place. So you'll see me on somewhere here on Facebook or on Instagram. Anyway, if you all haven't subscribed to the Ask the Nanny YouTube channel, please go and do so. It's Ask the Nanny. YouTube.com/Ask the Nanny. And I promise I'm done with the advertisement now. That's put them all in. And be sure you get the DIYNannyCamp.com.
Yes.
Yep.
Did I say that right? DIY?
Yes, you did.
DIYNannyCamp.com. Go get this newsletter. Get the plans go get the letter first. Introduce it to your family so that by next week they'll be ready to purchase, or even tomorrow be ready to purchase so you can get the supplies in on time.
Yes.
Now, I'm done. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
You all have a great week.
You too.
You too.